Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I'm once again working in my sketchbook made for me by my friend Spofgh. In this particular session, I'm working on the last of the yellowish tan pages. I guess this is tan, and I only have one page left in the sketchbook, so I'm really excited about that because I already have another sketchbook waiting and ready for use with new paper. Try out. So for this one, I kind of wanted to play with negative space again. When I was doing my prior sketchbook tour and revisiting those ink drawings I did a couple years ago, I realized I haven't done anything that really plays with negative space in a while. And my original plan for this one was to kind of just do the hoodie in like all black and then paint the background. But I realized that I didn't want to do anything that stark because she is quite pale. And I didn't really know what would happen, so eventually, and as you probably saw in the thumbnail, I do paint the hoodie with kind of like a forest scene. So I mixed up a little bit, tried something different, and I had a lot of fun with this one. It has actually been a little bit of time since I played with watercolor, and that kind of feels like an exaggeration. It's been maybe like, I just haven't done much watercolor lately, but it's really not that long. But there was a little adjustment period in the beginning here where I felt a little off, but I caught up pretty quickly. I also haven't been painting people much in the past few weeks, so it just feels like I got to a bit of a stutter start as I try to remember how to ride my bike here. So yeah, for this one, I wasn't feeling particularly motivated. I've been really busy lately and I'm working on a bunch of different things, so I was scrolling through Pexels and there was something really intriguing to me about like some of these outdoor scenes that felt a little, I don't know, maybe I'm stretching it. There was like, I'm also getting ready to work on an ATC, an artist trading card, for an exchange where the theme is like Halloween and autumn. So I'm kind of getting into all these like kind of witchy vibes. So I was looking at a lot of pictures and just kept getting ones that had like cornfields in the background. That's not really what I went with here, but it was just making me really happy. So one of those pieces called out to me and one thing led to another, and eventually I found this piece. I didn't go for an exact likeness or anything. I just wanted something that would inspire me, and I did go with that pose. Something about the way that the jacket was open, but not like, she didn't feel as exposed as she could have, and I felt that was very like intriguing to me. So something different. Yeah, I really don't have too much to say about that. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I started with like my very standard color palette, but I've been enjoying using more like phthalo turquoise in the skin. I think it's phthalo turquoise. No, it's helio turquoise, which if I look it up, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the pigment is phthalo turquoise. But in general, I've just been enjoying playing with turquoise more in skin mixes. So I did that again. And I also started pulling some colors I don't typically use because I did want her skin to be fair and have a lot of pink to it. And eventually I ended up pulling Opera Rose, which I have and I never use. And I'm like, it's a sketchbook, go wild. So I eventually did start pulling in Opera Rose and I really actually had a lot of fun with it. So we'll see. Obviously that's a paint that's meant for sketchbooks because if I use it on bigger pieces and leave it out, it's very fugitive, but just for stuff like this, it's fine. So before I go too much further, a little update on my kitty for those of you who are following along. She's sick. I don't want to go into too many details because I don't want to be too depressing, but I will say that her condition has not worsened over the prior 4 weeks from ultrasound to ultrasound. So we're very happy about that. She's having some other little issues, but nothing that's too concerning at this point, at least not to the vet. So we're very happy. One of the pieces I'm working on right now is actually a portrait of her. So I've been working off and on that. I actually got some wooden panels and I spent a few days going back and forth with gesso and sanding it, and then couple days trying to figure out the sketch and then adding some base shading on that, and then finally I think I settled on casein. I'm using casein. I've only really done 2 painting sessions, and the first one was just with like a brown and a white just to lay in some values. And then, yeah, I actually started painting her. It's very intimidating. So right now I haven't had a chance to get back to it. It's been about a week. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the background. So that's taking a lot of my attention right now. I did post a work in progress on my Instagram page, which is always linked in my description below. So if you want to see that. So that's different for me because I haven't painted with casein since the casein 2020 event a few years ago, a couple years ago. I did like the one piece for that and then haven't touched it since. I never painted on wood before, so that's exciting. And it's just a very different experience and I'm really liking it so far. It's just a little intimidating because I want to do my kitty justice. Beyond that, I'm still working on the gouache class from Justin Donaldson. We are now in week 7 of 8, so we're getting pretty close to finishing it up. And I really did like the last 2 weeks of exercises. Week 6 was a bit of a struggle for me. I finally got that homework assignment done yesterday because it was a very technical painting, values, architecture. I remember it being tough for me the first time around, and it was difficult for me to get motivated to work on it last week. So excited to be past that and move on to some more interesting paintings. And I mean, that's just me. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's a very good exercise, but values are hard. Gouache, I'm still not used to like working with opaque paint and it immediately covering your sketch and then you have to like rebuild stuff. It's just a challenge I'm not used to, being primarily a watercolor painter. Yeah, and then I'm working on the Bridgman boot camp. We are currently doing it. It's a small group of us. We're doing 1 session a week instead of doing 3 sessions a week. So we're taking it at a much slower pace since so many of us are taking the gouache class or getting ready for Inktober or whatever October challenge they're working on. So far so good there. Just watched the week 3, session 3 content earlier today. And already I'm like overwhelmed by all right, so do 40, break down 40 drawings into their 3 masses. And then if you're really excited, do 20 more drawings. And it's just like, okay, yeah, this was definitely a boot camp. And I'm so glad I did not try to do this during the work week with like 3 sessions a week because I would have never been able to keep up. But yeah, so I'm keeping busy, but it's all stuff that I'm wanting to get better at, and I'm really excited about it. I am starting to contemplate whether or not I want to do, not Inktober, but maybe Birdtober again. I did it last year, though it wasn't the official Birdtober list because I didn't know there was an official Birdtober. I was just like, I want to draw birds every day or 6 days a week. So there is an official list. I'm considering doing it, but I don't know if I want to commit to a daily art challenge, even though I love doing those little bird sketches. And 30 to 45, I think some of them went up to an hour. That's not a huge amount of time to spend drawing and painting, but last year I recorded it for way too long, and that setup and work was just a lot. And then yeah, now I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to get like 10,000 steps a day. So I spend a lot of my evenings walking, and I don't know if I have the commitment for that. So as much as I want to do that, I'm trying to be really realistic about what I've already got on my plate and what my priorities are and working through that. So we'll see. I don't really know. I do want to take on some bigger paintings soon, but Maggie's my primary focus right now, both the cat and the painting. And beyond that, I think some things I'm just going to have to put off until I actually get some time off of work. It's been really busy at work. It's been really busy with life. And I'm taking on a lot of classes, so I need a bit of a break. But honestly, otherwise, I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I'm not overly I'm not killing myself trying to take these classes, and if I miss something, if it doesn't work out one week, that's okay, because I'm just, basically auditing. Bridgman Bootcamp is, for those who aren't familiar, since I mentioned it and just took off on a tangent, that was Marshall Vandruff's class where he went through the George Bridgman Complete Guide to Drawing Figures. It's basically, he had a very unique way of looking at masses and the human body, and his book is typically considered extremely confusing and hard to follow in terms of learning anatomy and figure drawing, whatever. And Marshall Vandruff did this boot camp where it was a very intensive 1-month program to go through it and really deep dive, understand it, work hard, and master what Bridgman was putting forward. That boot camp has now been made available, I think this was earlier in the year, maybe even late last year, on his Marshall Vandruff's YouTube channel, so it's freely available. So if anyone is interested in doing that, it really is. You just watch the YouTube videos, do it at your own pace, and it's pretty, low. I mean, there's a lot to it, and if you were doing it in the original time frame, it really is a boot camp. But if you're just doing it on your own and taking your time, it's pretty, I don't want to say low stress, but it's not a rush, go kill yourself trying to get this done. So it's available, it's out there if you're interested. I'm just doing it with some friends, and that's the only reason I have that particular time frame set out. Otherwise, I do know I'm going to probably be a little busier later in the year because I'm doing Inkvent again. That I did mention it on this channel last year. That's an advent calendar by the fountain pen ink company Diamine, and they give you basically one small ink a day for 24 days, and then the 25th day, Christmas, you get the one full 30 milliliter size ink. And like last year, I'm still working on my ink journal whenever I get a new ink. So I write a little bit about it and then I sketch with it. So I plan on doing that again, which pretty much gives me a daily drawing challenge in December, but it's just little sketches, so it's not quite as stressful. And I like to test out all the new inks, so it's a little different. But yeah, I probably shouldn't be doing Vertover. Too much going on. So yeah, just kind of a little life update there for most of this video. Like I said, I don't have too much to say about this. I really did enjoy the process of painting this. It was just especially once I got past the stutter start of, oh, did I forget how to use watercolor again? It was a real relaxing piece, and especially the hoodie. I'm glad I took this approach. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I really did have fun with it because it's just different, and I really do enjoy playing with negative space. And I don't know, it's kind of some degree of escapism. I need to get out more. Though I can't wait for the weather to cool down. It's just been so hot here, and when it's not hot, it's pouring, so can't really be out much. So soon. It's Florida. The fall isn't that cool. It takes a bit longer, but we'll get there. So anyway, that's really all I had for this week. Little update, little video, and hopefully soon I will have a new sketchbook tour. And as for October, we'll see it as it comes. I have no idea. But in any case, take care of yourselves. Hope you're all doing well. And let me know if you have any big art challenge plans for October. I'm just curious. But yeah, talk to you in the next video. See you then. Bye.